Alright, today we are going to be working on a 2007 Toyota Corolla. So we're going to do some maintenance on it. Changing the oil, changing the air filter, and resetting the oil life monitor on the dash. So basic tools that you need: 14mm socket to loosen up the oil plug underneath the engine. Again, 14mm. Don't forget to make sure you have your oil drain pan to catch the oil. Once you break it loose, you can loosen it up by hand. And there's your oil pan drip plug. Make sure you take the cap off so it'll drain faster. Here I'm showing you where the oil filter is. It's at the front of the car. So you would need to go underneath the car to access the oil filter. Next tool you'll need is the oil filter pliers. I like the pliers better than the socket, oil filter socket that fits over the oil filter, but you know, whatever works for you. Just break it loose and then twist it by hand, and then of course catch the oil that drains out. And then twist the oil filter out. Dump the old oil out. These are the oils that I'm using: an oil filter and air filter. Prep your new oil filter before putting it on. Key is to fill it up before putting them in. Depending on where your oil filter goes into, sometimes it's difficult to pre-fill the oil filter when the oil filter sits diagonal or sideways or whatnot, but this one sits straight up. Alright, time to put the oil pan plug back on. Reminder, 14mm. Hand tight it first, and then snug it with the socket wrench. Make sure to always wipe down around the area where you're draining the oil. And with oil plugs, pan plugs, you can hand tight it. You don't really need to tighten it up too tight or whatnot. Now it's time to fill up the oil. With this vehicle, it requires 4.5 quart. Always look up your specification on what oil you need to use for each vehicle. Either look up through the manual, your book, or sometimes it shows on the cap, oil cap of the engine, or you can just look it up on the internet like Google. It's always a good idea to put about 4 quarts. If it's requiring 4.5 or 5 quarts, put 4 quarts, and then after that, check the level through the dipstick, and if the level is good, you don't have to add more. But if it shows that it still needs a little more, then you'll add the other half quart. Because you really don't want to overfill the engine with oil. But you don't want to have too little as well. Checking the oil level now. Check it 2 or 3 times. Looks good. Starting up the engine, warming it up. Make sure there's no leaks. Now we're about to change the air filter. Basically, there's 2 tabs. Unclick it and then raise up. Air filter is not too bad, but it doesn't hurt to change it. Airflow is very important, and you can see the difference between the two. One's really dirty and other one's clear and clean. How to test the air filter is you raise it up into the light, and if you can see through it, then it's good. If you can't see the light through it, then it's time to replace the air filter. On the air filter, it'll show what's right side up and what goes down, so make sure you pay attention to your product when you replace them. Good to go.
How to reset the maintenance oil required light on the 2007 Toyota Corolla. So basically, you're going to hold the trip button down, and then you're going to turn the ignition not on, but don't turn the car on, but turn the ignition to the on position without starting the car. And then from there, it should start blinking and then release. You see the blinking, and then your maintenance light will turn off. You release, turn off, turn on the car, maintenance light will be off. Really easy. So with the car off, hold the trip button down and then turn the key to on. The on position right here without start. Your dash meter will start flashing and then your maintenance light will start disappearing. You turn off the car, then you turn the car back on, and then your maintenance light will be off. Thank you.